Can you beat Fallout 4 while only using quest items? Episode number 3. And starting off from last time, as we have just started the Cabot House questline. And I arrive at the Parsons State Insane Asylum, and when I talk to the people there, they tell me that a bunch of raiders have been annoying them. And one of them has stolen the mysterious serum. And of course it is my job to go and steal that back from the raiders, and hopefully not die. And now, since I have the Deliverer pistol, which looks like a James Bond gun, I decide to go in all sneaky, but it did not work whatsoever. And mainly because I have absolutely zero armor at the moment, it was pretty hard for me to take any shots without nearly dying, especially from a high level raider survivalist. Then I get him all the way down to the lowest point of health, then he pops the stim pack, so I just give up and just go for him. I then grab the mysterious serum and decide to loot this place. Then after I finish looting the place, 3 more raiders showed up, just to die, I guess. I kill all 3 of them, steal all of their shit, and go back to give the mysterious serum back to Jack Cabot. And now that I've finished that mission, it's time for part 2 in the Cabot House questline, where I have to go find Jack's sister, Imogen Cabot. Probably not pronouncing it right, but who cares. And my first lead is to go to Goodneighbor and search the bar, where I ask the bartender about Imogen, and he tells me to talk to Magnolia, who is just the singer of this place. And she tells me that Imogen went with some guy named Brother Thomas, who works at the Back Bay. And I go to the Back Bay and I meet this dodgy looking bastard. And he's like a preacher or something, so you just know he's batshit insane. Then after listening to his preaching for a while and passing a few speech checks, he finally lets me into the room that he locked Imogen in. And after talking to Imogen for a while and finding out that this mysterious serum makes him basically immortal, and I also get Imogen to agree to go back home, and then I make my way there as well to start the third and final mission of the Cabot House questline. And the problem is at the Insane Asylum, because it turns out that a bunch of raiders have taken over the place just for all of that mysterious serum stuff. So me and Jack head over there to kill every living raider that exists inside of that building. And as we get there, we notice a bunch of dead bodies, and nothing could be better because it's just a bunch of free loot. A bunch of stimpaks, a bunch of ammo. Could not be happier about dead bodies. And now, as I head inside, I realise that this mission is going to be the worst thing ever. So I decide to go full 007 and just sneak the entire time. But the worst thing doesn't come until the very end of this mission. And after 15 minutes of constant killing raiders and exploring the entire place, I finally make it to the final room. And when I'm told to go inside of the room where Lorenzo Cabot is, I now have to fight this guy named Lefty and all of his raiders surrounding him. And the saddest thing is that Lefty isn't the tankiest guy here, even though he still took like 30 shots to the head. And because when I released Lorenzo, I was expecting him to take about 1 or 2 shots to kill him because he's just an old man. I didn't bring any cannonball ammo, I sold my minigun, and the only thing I've got is this silenced pistol with 120 ammo. And holy motherfucking Christ, this guy is a walking tank. I put a whole clip in his head and he barely feels it. I didn't know if there was a special way to deal with his special powers that he's got from this weird helmet, but I just sat there shooting the crap out of him with no chance of killing him for the entire time. Then I run out of ammo pretty quickly and I use every drug that I've got, and that gets him down to about 2/3 health. And I thought, well, this is impossible now, because as I start meleeing him, I don't see the health bar go down. So I reload the quick save, because I'm not gonna lie, I was just gonna give up. But then I realised that I've spent an hour on these Cabot House missions, so I might as well finish it. So sadly, that's what I decide to do. And of course, all that I've got left is me gun bashing. So for the next 10 minutes straight, I'm just sitting there gun bashing this guy with a fucking pistol right in the head until he falls over. I legitimately nearly fell asleep while doing this, it was that boring. But I finally killed the dickhead and proceeded to teabag his corpse for a good amount of time. Die! Die! And now that he's finally dead, I can finally give my remote's weapon bash button a poor rest and my poor fucking finger. But now just for a bunch of teabagging just to let it sit in. And now that Lorenzo has been teabagged very sufficiently, it's time to head back to Cabot House. And then I talk to Jack Cabot and the mission is complete. He then tells me to come back in a week for my special reward. So I sit on his couch for a week, probably stinking out the entire house. Then after that week is over, I finally get up and he gives me Lorenzo's artifact gun. And while gamma rounds are pretty decently hard to come by, I will just be using it for crowd control mostly because it has such a large AoE. And now that I'm finally done with that, I can continue with the main missions, so I head to Diamond City and talk to Ellie Perkins. And she tells me that Nick Valentine, the guy who I was looking for and who could possibly help me find my child, has been taken by the Triggermen and some guy named Skinny Malone. And now that I've started the main mission, it's time to go and not do that because someone told me that I should go and do the Silver Shroud quest, which will give me a nice piece of clothing and a pretty cool submachine gun. And to start this, all you have to do is talk to your boy Kent Connolly, and he explains exactly where to find the Silver Shroud stuff. And as I get to Hubris Comics, which is where it all is, I expect to do this all sneakily like, but then a bunch of feral ghouls come at me and absolutely molest me while I'm sitting at the door. Then after a few levels of ghouls and comics, I finally make it to the final level where a sneaky little glowing one is sitting right behind the costume that I'm looking for. Then all of his friends come to say hello, and I am very nearly killed, but I go straight for the glowing one and do not stop shooting him until he dies. Then I just spam 3 stim packs, and I get rid of all the rest of these little assholes. Then I grab the beautiful Silver Shroud costume, then I go behind and grab the submachine gun replica as well. Then I got the hell out of there and went straight to go save Mr. Valentine. And then completely forgot to turn in the Silver Shroud quest and get my submachine gun, so now I have to clear out this entire place with just my pistol. And it's working out pretty well since I'm going full 007 mode. This gun is actually just so fun to use, definitely get it. But then I finally killed the last 3 people at the vault entrance. Then after making my way through the entire place very easily, I make it to Dino and kill him pretty quickly. And now I've finally made it to Mr. Valentine. We both look fucking awesome. Then we make it all the way through, just letting Mr. Valentine take care of mostly everything. And we nearly get out the vault, but then we're stopped by fucking Skinny Malone and his munted girlfriend. Then I killed all 4 of them because, well, they were a bit boring. And it seemed like they were very ready to die. And now that they're dead and I've freed Nick Valentine, I'll leave it there for today, and hopefully next time I remember to turn in that Silver Shroud quest. Might head to the Brotherhood for a bit just to get the Righteous Authority, and then I'll see what Kellogg's up to. But thanks for watching, and leave any tips or ideas in the comments below, and a new episode will be out in a few days.